Today I'm going to walk you through how to smoke lasagna. This is such a really good comfort food dish that you could make in your smoker for game day or for a holiday, and it's easier than you'd think. So the first thing that you need to do is to make the ground beef filling. You want to cook the ground beef before adding it to the lasagna. So what goes into the filling is ground beef, some olive oil, garlic that's diced up, salt and pepper, Italian dried seasonings, and you'll also end up adding some pasta sauce in as it's cooking. You want to completely brown the ground beef so it's ready to add into the pasta sheets. But here's my trick. I love to add in some pasta sauce to get the flavors into the ground beef right at the beginning before it even goes into the Traeger, and to make sure that the meat stays really juicy and moist while it cooks. Okay, so then you mix up the ricotta cheese filling, and all that goes into it is a scrambled egg, mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese, garlic powder, nutmeg if you have it and want to add it, and some salt and pepper. Give that a mix, stir it all together with a spatula. You could also add in some fresh herbs at this point. I love having basil in my kitchen just for this reason. And then it is time to go ahead and start assembling your layers of pasta. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is put some pasta sauce at the bottom of your baking dish, casserole dish. You could even use one of those tin foils or a cast iron skillet to make this Traeger smoked lasagna. Put a little layer at the bottom so the noodles don't stick, then put in a layer of pasta sheets. These are no boil pasta sheets. Really easier. You get to skip the step of boiling them to al dente first. And then I like to see how, I don't know, it seems a little tough at first, but I want to see how thin of a layer that I could get of that ricotta cheese filling for the lasagna. So I use some spatulas. It doesn't have to be pretty at this point. Put in a very thin layer. Then a layer of that cooked ground beef mixture. And then you can go ahead and layer up another layer of sheets, cheese mixture, ground beef, and then another layer of pasta sheets. So in total, I got about 3 or 4 layers of pasta sheets here. I just want to make sure that the entire layer is filled with the sheets, and then do the same assembling step each time. A little pasta sauce, the ricotta cheese filling, the ground beef. You kind of get into a little rhythm here as you put it all into the dish. And then what happens is the final layer, the very top layer of the smoked lasagna, is pretty much just cheese. Now you may not have used up all of your lasagna sheets at that point. You can see I like making all these different designs with it. My husband was like, "What are you doing?" I can't do it the same way every single time. It has to be different, right? So anyways, after that's all layered in there, see what you have left. You might have more ground beef left. You might have more cheese mixture left. I always try to use up those ingredients. And then the very top layer is going to be a layer of mozzarella cheese and Parmesan cheese. And that's going to get nice and bubbly while it's smoking. So I didn't have any ricotta cheese filling left or ground beef. I just put in the layer of sauce and then the Parmesan and mozzarella on top. And then the first thing that you want to do is to smoke lasagna at 375 degrees Fahrenheit covered in foil. It's going to be in there for about 40 minutes, and then you can take off the foil and smoke lasagna at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes until the top is bubbling and that cheese is starting to get brown. This was so delicious. We let it stand for like probably a half hour because it's definitely easier to pull up out of the pan. Look at this gorgeous glamour shot of the smoked lasagna. It's so good. This is definitely an easy main dish to make with the pellet smoker grill, but you could serve it. It cooks at the same temperature as something like smoked whole chicken, so that would be another good recipe that you could pick up at Sip Bite to go with this one. Well, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful and delicious day. Cheers!